Very good morning student. This is the lecture of object oriented programming using C++, and this is the last lecture of the first chapter. As we know, our first chapter is principles of object oriented programming. Till the last session we have completed the 6th subpoint and we have already started the 7th subpoint, that is array, string and structure in C++. In the last session we have seen the arrays in C++, definition of array, which are the types of array, that is single dimensional, two dimensional, multi-dimensional array, how to declare array, how to initialize array, how to access the elements stored into the array, and also we have seen the example of single dimensional array and two dimensional array. Today we will start the string. So what is string? String is a collection of characters. Okay, means what? We know that characters means alphabets, numbers, digit. So collection of these characters means the string. We can also called as the array of characters is known as the string. Array of character is known as the string. So there are two types of string commonly used in C++ programming language. First is the strings that are objects of string class, the standard C++ library string class, and C strings, that is C style strings. Now see here, strings also called as a array of characters. An array can have characters as its elements. An array containing a group of characters is known as a character array. So what is array? Array is a collection of different elements having same data type. So here data type is character and there are number of characters which are grouped together, so it is called as a character array. See the syntax, character. So we have to write data type as character. Why? Because it is a string. In the array we can write the data type as integer, float, okay. But in case of strings, it is a group of characters, so we have to write the data type as character. See here, character. Array name, it is a name of array, identifier, okay, it is an identifier. We can write any name or we can give any name to the array. Here is the array size, also called as a subscript, equal to string in double quote. Why double quote? We have already seen in our basic concept, if we write the alphabet in a single quote, a single alphabet in a single quote, then it is known as a character. But the group of characters written in a double inverted comma, it is known as a string. So here in double quotation mark string semicolon. This is the syntax of declaring a string. Okay, declaring and assigning the value to the string. See here example, an array name of type char is declared as initialized with 5 characters using following statement. See here, char, it is a data type. Name, it is a name given to the array. Size is a 5, means we can store total 6 characters. See here how to assign characters to the string, that is HELLO. All are enclosed in a what? Single quote. Why? Because these are the single alphabet, means characters. Now an array of characters in which the last character is always a null character, that is /0 represents a string. Means what? After writing this hello, there is automatically /0 character is present. Why? Because it is a end of string, which is by default or inbuilt present in a string. So we don't have to write this /0, it is automatically ended your string. This example we can also write as, see here, this is also correct, okay, because this is enclosed in a single quote. And if we want to give or assign the single character one by one, then we can use the single characters enclosed in a curly bracket. So this is a string, array of characters. Now initializing strings. A string in C++ is declared and initialized in the same way as a character array. So a string in C++ is declared and initialized like what? Other arrays. Means we have to write the what data type, after that name of array, then size of array, and equal to sign, which is assignment operator, and in enclosed bracket we can write the any value which will be assigned to the array. The general syntax for initializing a string at the time of its declaration is given below. Means we can initialize string at the time of declaration also. Otherwise you can declare the array first, and later in our program we can assign the value to the string also. So see here, character, that is data type, string name, it is a array name, size equal to, in double inverted comma or quotation mark, value, semicolon. At the time of declaring we are going to assign this value to the string. The following declaration and initialization create a string consisting of the word hello. To hold the null character at the end of the array, the size of a character array containing the string is one more than the number of characters in the word hello. So see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this hello contains 5 characters, but we have to write 6. Why 6? Because we have to give space for this /0 also. So if you want to create character array or string, then you have to mention the size, which is +1 than your characters present in a string. So in hello there are 5 characters, but we are writing here size 6. Why 6? Because space needed for this /0, that is null character. It is also called as a null character. So character greetings having 6 size equal to, in curly bracket, hello, ended with this null character. If we follow the rule of array initialization, then you can write the above statement as follows. Character greeting equal to hello. Means this, there is a no any subscript given here. It automatically take the number of characters plus 1 for null character, and it will allocate the memory. So see here, figure is the memory presentation of the definition string. So see here, index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, variable HELLO, and end with the /0, that is the end of character, and this is the address. See here, to store the character we need only 1 byte. So the address, first address is, see here, 441. After that 442, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? Because each and every character requires 1 byte. So address is increased by number 1. This is the initialization of string. Now we will see one program. Integer main, character greetings of 6 equal to hello. Okay. Cout greeting message. Cout here greeting endl. See here, at the time of displaying the array, no need of this subscript. Directly write the name of character, that is greeting. Endl is a end of line, return 0. Now it will show the output like greeting message colon, and output of this greeting, that is hello. So greeting message hello. This is the output of this program. Now manipulating strings. So there is a set of predefined functions in C++ which are used to manipulate string in different manners. The predefined functions which are declared in the string.h or C string header in new C++ compiler's header file. So as we know what is header file, header files contain the inbuilt function which will be used in our program. If you want to use any inbuilt function from particular header file, we have to include that header file at the beginning of our program. So if we want to need the inbuilt string manipulating function, we have to write the string.h, that is import or include. Import is in Java, so include string.h. By taking this header file, we can use number of inbuilt functions which are present in this header file, which are used to manipulate the string. See here, giving the string manipulation function. Here strcat, that is strcat, that is a string concat. Okay, what is this string concat? What is the function of this string cat? Okay, what is the work of this? So string cat s1 dot s2. Now here s1 and s2 are two strings, and string cat function is used to concat two string, and it store this new string into the first string. So see here, s1 and s2 are two string. Suppose in s1 we have assigned the value Sharad, and in s2 we have assigned the value institute. So after working of this function, what will be the result? This Sharad and institute is concatenated and stored into this s1. Now if you want to display, if you display the string s1, it will display the output like Sharad institute, and if you display this s2, it will display the only institute. Okay, so strcat function is used to concat the two strings given in the bracket. Next is a strcpy. Okay, strcpy, that is string copy. This function is used to copy one string into another string. So here s1 and s2 are two strings, and in that also the string which is present in s2 is copied into the s1. If you display both s1 and s2, it will show the same result because string is copied from s2 to s1. Now strlen, that is strlen, that is string length. This function is used to, or this function returns the length of string, means how many characters are present into the string. So strlen s1 means what? Here is a string. If we return the any string, or if we assign the value, any value to the s1, it will show the what? Length of that string. And suppose Sharad, our string is Sharad, it will display the length of Sharad, that is SHARAD. So there are total 6 alphabets in our string. Next is the strcmp, that is string compare. Okay, this function is used to compare two string. So s1 and s2 are two string. If these both strings are same, this function will return 0. But if these strings are not same, it will give any non-zero value. And last is strchr, that is string character. So s1 and ch, that ch is indicating the single character, and this function return this character at which place this character is present in this string 1. And suppose we have written h here, it will display in string Sharad where is h, or what is the place of h. This is the string chr function. So these are the some string manipulating functions. So now C string. In C programming, the collection of characters is stored in the form of arrays. This is also supported in C++ programming. Hence, it's called C string. C strings are array of type character terminated with null character, that is /0. Okay, the ASCII value of null character is 0. So it is ended with the string. How to define a C string? Now, how to define a string? character str square bracket equal to in double quotation mark C++ and semicolon. In above example, str is a what? Is a string and it holds 4 characters, that is C plus plus and slash 0, that is 1 2 3 and slash 0 4. So it holds the 4 characters, although C++ has the 3 characters and the null character slash 0 is added to the end of the string automatically. This is a C string. Alternative ways of defining a string. So how to define a string? See here, character str4 equal to C++. Here subscript is mentioned, that is we require the 4 places to store this string. Also we can write like this, character str null bracket, it is automatically count the characters and allocate the memory, and we are defining here by using the curly bracket and character by character, that is C plus plus and slash 0. Also we can define like this, character str4 equal to C plus plus slash 0. Like array, it is not necessary to use all the space allocated for the string. For example, see here, character str100 equal to C++, means this string require only 4 bytes but or 4 places, but here we have given the 100 places, so remaining 96 places are blank, but it is allowed in the string. So no need to write the 100 characters for 100 size array. So see here, C++ program to display a string entered by the user. In this program we get the string from the user and we are going to display the string. So character str100, here it is a declaration of string. str100 means we can store 100 characters into this str character array. Cout, enter a string. This is message given to the user, enter a string. Here cin str. See here again, in cin and cout no need to write the subscript. Okay, just write the name of array. So cin, which is used to take input from the cin, which is used to take input from the user, str. Okay, now you are entered str inline. Here we are displaying the value which is entered by the user. Now enter another string. You entered string. So here user again enter some string into this program. Now see here output, enter a string C++, you entered C++, enter another string, programming is fun, you entered programming. Okay, this is all about the strings in a C++. Now we will see the structures in C++. It is also we have seen in the C language. So what is structure? Also we have discussed about this in a basic data type. So structure is a user defined data type. Unlike C structure, a C++ structure is a collection of variables of different data types under a single name. Means see here in array also we can use different elements but having same data type and single name. But in structure we can use the different data type under a single name. So see here the difference. In structure single name but different data type. In array single name but same data type. So structures are used whenever a computer programmer requires building the same or different types of related data items together into a single entity. So same or different types of related data means what? Suppose if you want to display the information about student. So each and every student has some related data. See like each and every student has its name, its roll number, its class, okay, its percentage. So these all have the different data types. Means name is in string, roll number is in integer, okay, again percentage is in float. But this all information is related to that particular student. So if you want to perform a program like displaying the student information, library management. In library management, suppose book has its pages, its price, its name, author name. These are the related data. So in that cases we can use the structure. A structure declaration is a user defined data type. Why user defined data type? Because after declaring a structure, we can means user can write different data types into that structure. A structure in C++ is defined as a collection of data items of either same or different data type referred to by a common name. The various data items of a structure are known as members of the structure. Means we are going to see the syntax and example of structure. In that time I will tell you the members of the structure. Array in C++ is used to store objects of the same data type, while structure can be used to store data of same type or different types. So object of the same data type, and here store the data of same type or different type. Now defining the structure. Here is the syntax. See here, struct is a keyword, structure name. So it is also again identifier. Structure name in open bracket, data type member name, another data type member name, data type member name. We can define any number of elements here. At the end, curly bracket and semicolon. So see here, member means what? Variable present in a structure is known as the member of that structure. Okay, see here the example, you can easily understand what I mean to say. Structure employee. This is the defining of structure. Struct is a keyword, employee is a structure name. So open curly bracket, integer, int is a data type, id is a variable of that integer, and it is known as a member of this employee, member of this structure. id is a member of this structure. So character name is also member of the structure. Float salary is also member of the structure. So here you can see integer, character, float. We are defining three variables of a different data type, that is id in integer, name in character, and salary in float. So this is a defining a structure. Now declaring structure variables. Structure in C++ is a collection of variables which can be same or different data type. A structure in a C++ can be used in a program only if memory is allocated to it. See here, a structure in C++ can be used in a program only if memory is allocated to it. Means after defining a structure, the compiler allocate memory for that structure. The syntax for declaring a structure variable is given below. Means after defining a structure, in defining the structure we have write the struct keyword, name of the structure, we can write the members. After that we can create the variable of a structure. So structure name, structure variable, semicolon. Struct employee, see here, id, name, float. This is a structure, and this E1 and E2 are the object or variable of the structure employee. Now this E1 means what? E1 again contain the id, name, salary of employee 1, and E2 again contain id, name and salary of employee 2. These are the what? Variables of the structure. This structure is, see here, this is the structure. Okay, and this E1, E2 are the object of that or variable of that structure. So these are the member, id, name, salary are the member of the structure, and E1, E2 are the variable of a structure. Now initializing a structure. After declaring structure variables, the next step in C++ is to initialize structure variable. Like other variable, arrays. We can also initialize the structure at the time of defining the structure. A structure variable may be initialized when it is defined or declared. The syntax for initializing a structure variable is given below. Structure name, structure variable equal to value 1, 2, 3, up to value n semicolon. Again see the example, then you can easily understand. Struct product record. Here structure name is a product record, and character name, integer product code, integer product quantity, float product rate. Okay, means it has the 1, 2, 3, 4 members. The members of the structure variable product 1 of the structure type product record can be declared as initialized with the help of following statement. So see here, product record, this is the name of structure. Now record R1, it is a variable of this structure. Record R1 equal to, here in bracket the value is given Maggie, M01, 10 and 30.20. So this value is sequentially assigned to the this member. So Maggie is assigned to the what? Character. Here we have to give the character array. So this Maggie is stored into this name. Now product code is M01, product quantity is 10 and product rate is 30.20. This is one by one assigned to the members. So product record is a structure name, record R1 is a variable of this structure, and this is the initialization of structure. Now assigning structure members, accessing structure members. So to access any member of the structure, we use the member access operator, that is dot operator. The member access operator is coded as a period between the structure variable, see here carefully, structure variable name and the structure member that we wish to access. The syntax, see here the syntax, structure variable dot member name. Before that, see here, if you want to access this product code, in that case we have to write the what? Variable of the structure, that is record R1 dot the member, that is product code. If you want to access this M01, then we have to write record R1 dot product code. See here the example. Okay, it is a student structure. It has the member, roll number, marks and result. Okay, now integer main. Student, here stud is a structure. Student 1 is the variable of the structure, in bracket 40, 81 and pass. Now this 40 is assigned to the roll number, so roll number is 24, marks is 81 and result is pass. Now we have to display this value of student 1 are here roll number. Now in front of roll number we have to display the 24. So first we have to write the student 1, that is a variable of structure, dot roll 1. If you want to display marks, then student 1 dot marks. If you want to display the result, means student 1 dot result. So see here student 1 dot roll number. Now see here value of student are roll number student 1 dot roll number means 24. So 24 marks student 1 dot marks, that is 81 and result is pass. Now this is the accessing structure members, like student 1 dot roll number. Here student 1 is a variable of structure, and if we want to access the member, we have to write the what? Variable of structure dot member of that structure. So student 1 dot roll number, student 1 dot marks, student 1 dot result. So this is the example of defining a structure and initializing its variable. Now we will see the array of structure. Means we can suppose if you want to display the information of student only 5 students. So we can create the variable like S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. But suppose if you want to display the information of 100 students, in that case how can we create the 100 variables? So in that case we can create the array of structure. So an array of structure in C++ refers to an array in which each element is of structure type. To declare an array of structure in C++, first a structure is defined and then an array of the structure is declared. Means to create the array of structure, first we have to declare the structure. Also we have to define all the structure members. So syntax is here: structure name, structure variable and size. After defining the structure, we can create the array of structure like structure name, structure variable and in bracket size, like creating a simple array. So see here the example. Here student product record. Product record is a structure name. Now these are the name, product code, quantity, rate are the structure members, and this is the end of the structure. This is the structure. After that we can create the array like product record. That is product record is what? Don't make confused. See here product record, that is a name of structure. Now product is a variable of structure having data type 2. So now this is the array of structure. This product has the size 2, so we can display the name of 2 product, code of 2 product. Okay, so we have display the information of 2 products because size of array is 2. Suppose here we have written the 5, means we can display the value of 5 product. We can display the information of 5 product. So see here the example, somewhat small, but try to see here the structure employee. So again one thing is that we can create structure inside the integer main also and outside the structure. So before going to start main function, we have written here structure employee, integer id, character name, integer age and long salary. This is the members of the employee structure: id, name, age and salary. Now see here, employee is the structure name, emp is a variable and size is 3, means emp is a array of structure employee. So array we need the for loop, enter the details of I plus 1 means first employee. Here how to access employee I dot id, means this is the index, employee 0 dot id, employee 1 dot id, 2 dot id. Okay, like that. Employee I dot name, employee I dot age, employee I dot salary. Okay, and here by using the for loop we are going to display like this: details of employee 1, id 1, name Jeet, age 25, salary 25,000. Employee 2, id 2, name J, now age is like 23, salary is 25,000. This is the output of this program. Here it will show the information of 3 employees. Okay, this is all about the structure used in C++. This is the end of the structure and end of this first chapter of C++.